I done pulled out a guitar on them.
From
We might have to do some Christmas jingles.
Upthescore okay.
Oh, got me.
You see how I did that?
All of us at
You see how I-
HWBN News 4
Upthescore. What up,
Thanks for
though? I'm
tuning
your
in.
man,
Have a great
Stefan
story.
Terrell. TV on everything, I just say. Yeah, we here.
We
About to go in, bro.
We here, _ Coach Smith.
_ Coach Smith. On what? On everything?
Just on IG, and we worry about the Twitter stuff. You see all the handles when you get to the IG, bro. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so hey, listen, we got a dope show for y'all. Big shout out to our team, to our whole team. We got a lot of people working with us.
Yeah.
But shout out to On the Board Productions.
On the board Productions.
Man, listen, he hit me.
LLC.
He hit me with that magic this morning. My brain just was like, because doing anything you're doing, you got to think. You have to use your brain. But there are tools in place that will help you use your brain, and these guys are going to help me get in tune with how to help my brain work better. Because
You just gotta use your brain.
you got to use it and put it to work.
Activate.
And apply it. Like in sports and everything you do, if you apply your brain, it'll make it easier. You know how they say, and I know we got to go into our intro, but you know how they say, you got one job. And it sometimes it frazzle players on the field because they're trying to do other people's jobs. Coaches trying to do other coaches.
Just
everything.
one job.
Okay.
One job.
So we going beyond that today. We going beyond all that today.
Yeah, we're gonna be on the game today, and we're gonna up the score.
And up the score.
Beyond the scope.
Beyond the score. So
Let's
you
get
want me to hit it? You want me to hit it?
Go ahead.
All right, so welcome to the podcast. We are here today to do some situations. I'm so excited. I can't even read the script, CJ. CJ,
you ain't even get crazy.
I know. It's a point. It's a bullet. It's a hookup.
Boom.
But y'all hit me at the wrong time with this Chat GPT thing. I want to just. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, okay, can we not do the podcast? Can I get this information? Can I get this app and everything?
No, y'all do it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is a good segue into what we're about to do.
Bet.
You know what I'm saying?
Bet.
Called education.
Bet.
You know what I'm saying? It may not be in order, but we're gonna flip it, and that's how we're gonna educate. So with ChatGPT and all that stuff, the devices that you use to study. You know what I'm saying? Student athletes, now it's the time to go ahead, start registering your ACTs and SATs and all this testing and all that stuff. You need to, get geared up to go to the next level.
Yeah, it is that time.
I know here in a couple weeks we'll have a guest, Miss P. Who's gonna come on and talk about.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about the importance of being a student before you're an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely gonna have that discussion coming up in a couple weeks. But then also we was talking about in general, just educating yourself, period. Educating yourself on, like, the past couple weeks, trying to educate ourselves on the teams that played in the state finals.
That was fun.
You know what I'm saying? Educating ourselves on organizations out here doing what they're supposed to do, with this build models that we got of the bridges that we're trying to build together. Then you have, we got to educate ourselves on our own self because, 'tis the season for giving, but also there's a lot of people out there that fights depression, anxiety, so many things that go on during this time of the year where you have to educate and know yourself.
I appreciate that, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just in correlation with the podcast and what we do, bro. When the last couple of weeks we it culminated into the championship games at Ford Field.
Yeah.
And I was before we was going into the episodes, I literally was having a little bit of anxiety. What it's like crazy that you're saying it like that, but it's really important about education. So in the midst of me just trying to think in my brain about all the content we created, all the stuff that I just kind of can guess at, right, about the teams that's going to the championship. Never before that point did I start researching, which is part of education. That's what education is researching information. And I was, driving and just kind of frustrated and frazzled because I'm like, man, I'm going to be better. It's always about improving yourself in whatever you're doing, right? So I'm like, I'm going to be better. But never took the step to really educate myself on what it is that I needed to have in place to articulate on the podcast. Yeah. So long story short, it just culminated into, once I started doing my research, I started learning about all the teams that were involved in the playoffs, and it just made me feel so much better. My anxiety subsided.
Yeah.
I definitely came on the show confident. I had a notebook and everything, but it was a better thought process, because better preparation because we know about the P's.
Yeah.
So that education piece is so important, and especially when you transition in sports, because you have a lot of athletes who are not dual athletes or play different sports. So sometimes in the psychological side, kids get so frazzled after a loss in the playoffs, grades start deteriorating. It could be a straight A student or what have you, and then sometimes even with some of the like the culture of it, those coaches sometimes lose a disconnect with the kids, and that follow up afterwards is not as up to par as it should be. So it's a lot of components that go into place. But at the end of the day, when the program is a real program, the coaches are talking about student athlete, student athlete, and they meshing that together, and they making it a real situation. Yeah. And what you saw going into, like, probably into the segment, but what you saw was like we were saying in the past shows, like, we saying we want this team to win, we want that team to win. We educated on what they capable of, but facts on what's gonna happen was determined, and the educated kids who knew the fundamentals, because remember we talk about it, it's even with two teams.
Yeah,
but the team that's educated the most on not just the fundamentals, on what we do. Yeah. Because we know when we do this play, I know you pulling around me, so I know I got to take a big step. Yeah. That's education.
Yeah. That's knowledge for sure.
That's knowledge. So you really got to have that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So going into that, how was your bracket? How did you do with your
I think I went 50-50. I think it wasn't too bad.
Because we
I think I pretty much I went with the Catholic schools.
You did.
I did. They lost.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everything was pretty much called out how it's supposed to be called out. I went down there. The atmosphere was, you know what I'm saying? It was okay. And from what I heard, and this is probably what my second Michigan. No, it was my first Michigan State experience. And from what I heard from those who've been here and lived here, they said it's probably the weakest of it all because of the blowouts.
The matchups.
Yeah, the matchups was so. How can the Michigan High School athletic association educate themselves on how to figure out what matchups can be what and how can they be what?
I already see how this about to go.
What you mean?
I already see how this about to go. That man on this game.
You know what I'm saying?
But I hear you though. You right though.
Right. But I educated myself.
You did.
Before I came into the game.
You did.
I'm just, it's beyond the game. I just upped the scope. That's crazy. I'm on
the road. Wow. Boy, that's crazy. Boy. No, seriously though, that is a key component in getting those what's probably we would call data analysis.
Yeah.
And understanding the format of how the game.
College scholarships too for that too. For analytics and
absolutely
all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And you got especially when you get to the league, when you get to to professional sports, you get like 3 or 4 athletes on the team that you gotta follow. So there, you ain't always gotta be the athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Have we not been?
We have always been preaching that. You ain't always got an athlete.
It's so many ways. It's so many ways.
Just like I know kids that swim, bowl, track and field, cross country,
wrestle,
all that stuff. And
I'm going to a wrestling match coming up to one of my clients. Oh, you said
it's not like they are not the greatest athletes. They're not going to be a Bryce, or a Dakota or a Nate or you know what I'm saying. But in their sport, they are. But no one would never know if it never got exposed. It would never get exposed, or that's why when it comes to gaming, you know what I'm saying, you can get your NILs on that way and on that term. So, but yeah, Coach Smith will up the score. Make sure you tune in to Pirelli TV on all streaming platforms. Make sure you go to your app store, download it on all smart TV, smartphone, Android. Make sure you check us out on Pirelli TV.
And it's so important to understand, to understand with whatever you're doing, whatever sport, basketball, football, gaming.
Yeah.
The key component is what you know, which boils back to that word education again. You know what I mean? Because the more practice you have at what you do, the better you are, and the easier it is for you to do. You know what I mean? Because when a coach is yelling at you for something we did all week, and then I told you, go home, work on it, Stefan. Work on it. Work on it. Make sure you got it, because this is your one job.
Hey, next man up. Remember that. You got somebody behind you, but take your job that will do it.
And that nonchalant athlete who feel like he just got it all figured out, missed that big moment, which is probably the day where all those college coaches was there unannounced to see him. But he wasn't educated enough, and he didn't practice.
So will that kid transfer if he don't? If he don't improve to do what the coach told him to do?
Will he transfer?
Will he hit that transfer portal?
Well, in the hypothetical, it's probably possible. Like maybe a fight or flight thing.
So whose fault is that? Is that the player's fault, the coach's fault, or the parent's fault? If the coach went to that player and said, "Hey, it's what I need you to do. This is your job." Your manager, supervisor, like, "Hey, this is your job."
It's the player's fault. At the end of the day, it's the player's fault because you knew you got one job. You know what to do.
But Mom, Dad, this ain't working. This ain't working. I don't like. Yeah, well, I see how you don't be playing you or using you how you supposed to be using. Man, let's go on. Let's go over here.
You ain't gotta. Don't practice that, son.
You don't even gotta go practice this week. I got something for.
So whose fault is it? It's
accountability.
There's a mesh of accountability on everybody's part involved in a player's life.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to the player understanding the importance, and that's education too. Yeah. Understanding the importance of you might not like pulling.
Yeah.
But we need you saying it don't work. But and the coaches say something like, but if you do it correctly one time, it'll work. So I need you to work on it. I need you to educate yourself on. Go YouTube it. YouTube the best left tackle pulling guard.
Yeah.
Or I said left tackle pulling guard. But the
tackle pulling guard. Man, that's a nice little sweep right there.
Right. But seriously though, go figure it out. Like sometimes the generation of where we at now, these kids, some kids don't want to go ahead and do the homework. And then when you say, well, back in my day, we ain't had this and we had it all, we had to practice and make it perfect. Mm-hmm. Y'all got everything at y'all exposure, and you won't educate yourself on what it is to be a great athlete and not only just a great athlete, but a great person.
Nice.
Because it takes that. You know what I mean?
So since it's like, on the segment right now, transfer. Ooh. What's your thoughts on these kids, flipping commitments and transferring to get out of situations? Because there's many different reasons why kids transfer. It's not just because, like, I know Billy Joe that sat on the couch drinking his 40, going to yell at cuss at a kid,
Right.
for transferring because,
Right.
that's his favorite university that he never went to school for or whatever, but always got something to say about a young man leaving. There's many different reasons why. It could have been he had a better, that coaching staff, the coach that brought him on.
Yeah.
Got fired, left. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a little too cold for me. I'm getting a little home, so I want to move a little closer to home. And also tuition's a little cheaper. But if you're on a scholarship, then it won't matter. But still, but you know what I'm saying. But just like we got a lot of kids that flip their commitment from one school to another school.
I seen that.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about Alex
going to USC now,
and that's a hell of a move. Probably why? Because Colorado because Coach Sandy, he don't play. He going to that transfer portal. Yeah, Alex may have been that guy, number one on that board. But then he go to that transfer portal. Those kids, that they don't get high school kids coming out of high school no more. Especially not, and if he was going to commit to Colorado and stay, he was going to play because he plays his freshman.
For sure.
He plays his freshman.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, USC may have had a bigger bag for him.
Yeah,
and the program that he want to go to have more resources for him.
You see what happened with Bryce.
The weather is nicer in California.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This kid is from Michigan, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Man, I've been in the snow cold all my whole life, bro.
For sure.
He went down to Florida, got a piece of that warm weather and was like, man, I think I want to go to college somewhere warm. I'm going to go somewhere.
Yeah. I'm going to take my talents. Yeah, okay, so here's my take.
Yeah.
So the transfer portal, we talking about a journey, right?
Yeah.
We talking about the journey of life, the journey of making choices and decisions and pulling that whole thing together, right? So I have a son in college.
Yes, sir.
Stephon Buford Jr.
Yes,
He's
sir.
at Central State. And he could have opted to, we talking about decisions, and we're talking about journey, where he came from Harper Woods, freshman all the way to senior, culminated to a championship, and him being very beneficial on his journey to end that part of it, right? So went through the season. Was it the season that any coach would want?
Right.
Decisions were made from Central State. The coaching staff were relieved of their duties.
Okay. Happens every day.
Right. And my son could have redshirted, but because of his journey,
how many games?
because he played all the games.
Crazy.
Because of his journey that he took in high school and learning how to fill in gaps, be beneficial. Wherever you need me at, coach, let's get it done. That boy was out there. He probably played on the line one time before. I don't know. But he just was able to help wherever he tried, And now he's in a position at Central State where he's on this journey where he didn't been the Renaissance man and did a little bit of everything. What you need, coach? You need me to? I'll go out there and do it.
Yeah.
So he was at a critical point. Now we talk about the opportunity to transfer, not to transfer. The coaches were relieved. There were promises, but like, hey man, we got you. You did show us how dedicated you are. You did.
Got you why I'm here.
Yeah. You did do this. You did do that. You did do this. They even were going to compensate even with helping with his tuition and everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was like real chill, easy street. So to bring it all together, he like, Dad, coaches got fired. I do have an opportunity. There are a few schools who like, hey, we still got scholarship stuff. We could, that transfer portal is and he's like, I could do it. I could go have a full ride. Boom, boom, boom. He said, but Dad, I done been here before. He's like, I have been here before. So he's taking the education of where he been, applying it to where he at. And he's saying, I could transfer.
Yeah.
I could go and do something else, or I could build from the bottom, just like I did at Harper Woods, and do something great. He said, I'm not going to negate from the possibility of doing it, but he like, I think I'm going to stay in. And then, watch this. We had a balance. on his books.
Yeah.
On his, and we could have just been like, you know what? The other school was like, hey, we'll pay them, we'll take care of that and get you here. Get you good, bro, and get you started. It was a lot of, and a lot of times it'd be like that, right?
Yeah.
He said, but Dad, what if I do this and like in the midst of everything going on, that coach get fired or something? I was like, ooh. So he's thinking ahead, thinking. So all these things. So what ended up happening, long story short, he ended up saying, I'm staying. He ended up going down to the financial aid office, found out that there were some other things that can be put in place.
Yeah.
It was $1,250, it down to $400, so we just got to pay that by January.
Yeah.
And we already got that already taken care of because we was aiming for $1,250.
$1,250. You already had to say that ready to go.
So my answer to what you was asking, how do I feel about it?
Yeah.
It's going to be on the journey of that player, that parent understanding if he know what he want to do.
That's heavy. Yeah,
because it ain't on what I want to do.
Because it ain't your life no more. He's 18. He's
18.
He's 18 now. He's grown. So whatever you had to say.
So I'm like, how do you feel about this?
How do you feel, grown man?
Because I'm gonna support what you're going to do, and I'll give you my input on the decision that you're going to make, and we're gonna rock it like that. So this is what he decided to do, and he said, I'm about to go down here and check in financial aid to see if there's anything I can do. And it's like one of them last minute attempts because it was like the deadline was the 6th.
That Friday, right? I mean, you was telling me that Friday.
So
God working mysterious ways though.
So it goes back again to understanding that journey, understanding where but a lot of people get so frantic and they get so like, oh, I don't know what to do. Think about it. Use your mind.
Yeah.
Use what you already know. Compare and contrast. What will be the outcome if I do A, B, C? And that's what he did. And lo and behold, now he's in a great situation as far as knowing where he's going to be next year.
Nice.
So it goes to show you that you gotta know what you know if you want to move ahead. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
man,
I feel good about it because I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be real with you. As a parent, didn't nobody know. I was crying that one night, like, Lord,
I don't know what
I don't know.
And
I'm being honest, I had a moment.
Yeah.
But when I said, but you know what? If we got to do what we got to do, we got to do it. Because to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with transferring to a better situation.
It's not a better situation.
So
and
go ahead.
Probably was closer to home too.
He had a couple. It was a situation closer to home, a little further away. But so it's nothing wrong with it. But you got to make sure that you know what you know before you go.
Definitely. You got to know. I think you
know what you know before you go.
Know before you know before you go.
That's okay.
So you can up. Let's go. But yeah, man, we're gonna
seriously.
But yeah, we're gonna take this time to give a little special shout out to our landing sponsors. Our
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Coach Smith here with Upthescore Podcast. Make sure you tune in Grand Rapids TV and check out all of our content.
And we back. Oh, it looked like we did magic because this is not the same person that was here. But we got something special for y'all back up to score, man. Thank y'all for everybody for tuning in to our podcast. And y'all can find it on NYSG Network on YouTube. And we got clips everywhere. People be just taking me my voice and just like really showing me who I am. I'm like, wow, yeah, that was me. But we here with a special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself. I've known this young man when he was shorter than me. And, he's taller than me now. He's taller than me now. So go ahead, introduce yourself, and we're going to get into it.
My name is Brian Witherspoon, Harper Woods. I play defensive end on University of Toledo commit.
Ooh, you said it. You brought the segment into play. So we're going into a situation. First of all, congratulations. You said, on your commitment to Toledo, yep. Right? So you have came on a blessed journey yourself. Yes, and how you got here, a lot of people may not know, but the average student graduates when? In May. In May or something.
Oh yeah, somewhere in May or something.
In May or something. So let's first of all, let's talk about how you graduating early, bro. People is jealous of you.
Yeah, like I chose to graduate early because like of the development I can get before like my former class come inside like for their turn, so I take it as like a big development piece and getting comfortable to like, the coaching staff early, the weight training, the waking up, the classes and everything like that around me.
So anybody can just graduate early? So
no.
I mean, because
you have to be a high academic student to, graduate early. You got to have all your stuff together to graduate early.
Okay.
It's a long.
Got to have your grades up to par.
Yeah.
You got to have, like, really all your classes completed before a certain point or something like that, right?
Exactly, yes.
So when did you already have this plan in place when you enter high school, or did this just develop and you said, you know what, later down in your high school, you're like, you know what, I want to graduate early? How did you come about even putting this plan in place to graduate early?
I didn't go in high school thinking like, oh, I'm going to graduate early. I really just thought about it. Well, I didn't even think about it. My aunt actually thought about it. She was like, is there any way you could graduate early? I'm like, I might have to look into that because, I ain't never thought about graduating early. I seen like a couple of my former teammates do it, ahead of my times and stuff like that. But me personally, I wasn't thinking about graduating early. So my aunt, she brought it into my head and made it happen.
And at what point what grade were you in when you started on the early graduation train?
I'm going to my senior year.
Oh, you did it in your senior year?
Yeah, my senior year.
Wow. See, so hey, we dropping some jewels right here because in my mind, that was so perfect because it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
And that needs he already knows to do with it. Oh, he already knows to do with it. CJ already knows to do it. But I thought that this was something that you like, came in maybe 10th grade, was like, you know what, let me start prepping now and taking classes. So you got it, start thinking about it in 12th grade and
yep.
Wow. So that is amazing, bro. Like, so what was the deciding factor for your commitment to Toledo?
Okay. Number one, I say the coaching staff. I had like personal stuff going on, and like they was there for me the whole way, and also like the strength and conditioning coach. Because like even though your coach is gonna be like out recruiting, and you're gonna spend your most time with that position, with that like weight training coach. You know what I'm saying? So I made sure they had a pretty good weightlifting program because you're gonna spend most of your time with them. So it was basically like a big character develop,
okay.
Like that, and like how they treat me.
Right. So like, can you talk about like your scholarship situation? Is it like a full scholarship?
Oh, yeah.
Full scholarship?
Full scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm straight.
Yeah,
So and then you get. So do you have any development with any like NIL things or anything like that? Is that on your mind to put something in place like that?
I mean, yeah, it is, but like that's not like the main focus.
Okay.
Because like opportunities gonna open up eventually. It depends on like how hard you go on the field. So ball out on the field, more NIL opportunities gonna open up either way. So I wasn't really worried about NIL, but it's gonna open up for sure.
For sure. And again, man, I didn't even know. I thought you had to have so were you in dual enrollment? Was it that?
Yeah, mental dual enrollment. Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's dual enrollment.
Yeah.
And that gives you an opportunity to kind of accelerate your position in graduating early.
Mm-hmm. So right now I'm really doing my second semester classes. I already finished my second semester classes. All I gotta do is finish this semester and I'll be leaving next month, January.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you going, so it's not like you leaving here and you getting a whole break until, you going and you starting in college.
Yes.
On campus.
Mm-hmm. On campus.
Wow. And that's cool because you get a jump start on.
Exactly.
So I'm wondering, because every freshman has an opportunity to redshirt, right? I think that this opportunity, which clearly is true fact, that the earlier you go, the quicker you get acclimated to system and improving your chances of even playing, or you know what I mean. So it's real good to do that then.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And you can do it in your senior year.
Exactly.
Wow. So how did your brother? Well, it don't matter how you feel, but how's your brother feeling about your accomplishments and what you're doing so far?
He kind of like paved the way for me, like him like going on college visits and stuff like that, going on official visits. So just seeing him like kind of set a fire in me and motivated me to do what he do and be where he at right now.
And where is he?
He at Ohio University.
So y'all not gonna play each other?
Yeah, we is.
Woo!
I'll see him next year.
Oh, yo, hey CJ, we might have to, bro.
He got away with it this year. They beat us this year, but next year it's on the floor. You already know.
So this is about to be a real journey, CJ. We on to something.
Yeah.
We on to something. The journey of the brothers, man.
Yeah.
Wow, we're brothers. No, I had to put that in there. So, man. But again, congratulations on everything that you're doing, man. And but let's talk about, okay. So we're talking about the state championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel in that last game? What you feel like could have been a turning point for y'all to produce that victory?
I would say just the turnovers. We had 7 turnovers in that game. And, like once you turn the ball over to a team that ball hogs, because they don't want to give the offense time on the field. So once they ball hog, they try to run out the clock, and you give them 7 opportunities to ball hog, you will never win a football game.
Oh.
So I would say just our turnovers. That was probably our biggest mistakes. And, I would just say our turnovers.
So what advice? Because I know y'all probably had the senior moment. Like, all right. So what advice would you give to the rest of the underclassmen that's coming back to Harper Woods next year to prepare? What would you say to them?
I'll just say, keep working. Listen to what Coach Rod tell you. It's not gonna be easy, but he telling you the right stuff. He get people to the next level, and they succeed in the next level, not just be at the next level. They succeed, go sit in the NFLs, the pros, whatever. So I'll just say, listen to Coach Rod, put in the hard work, do stuff outside of football, get in some extra time on the field, stay a little bit after practice, do bag work, foot ladders, all type of stuff. So just, that's all I'll give them my advice to them.
Okay. And then I just want to up the score a little bit, because this gonna go viral, I believe. You saw what Bryce did with the little when he played for the Little League Michigan Wolverines. Yeah. All right, so boom, right off the back, NFL opportunity come up. What team do you see yourself playing on?
Yeah, that's kind of a good question. I wouldn't say Detroit is nice, but I'm from Detroit, and like I don't want to get caught up into the I'm too close to home, so I'll probably say the Chiefs.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Chiefs, Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably say somewhere like that.
But Detroit Lions for sure, though.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love to see you in the Lions uniform. You look good in the Lions.
Yeah.
But you're right. But I know that the road that you on right now, continuing to be consistent with what you do, it automatically pays off, because what's happening is life is like this whole journey that has to be built from ground up. And the only way that you can have a firm building is if you have a solid foundation, which comes from your education. Oh, that felt good right there. I didn't even know that was going to come out. No, seriously though, you know what I mean? Because it really is that. And even at me at 44, I'm still learning, and I was almost like, I'm about to go back to school myself.
Right.
But and there's just so many. The life is school, so and there are resources available for those who may not want to get into the collegiate situation. You can always educate yourself and continue your journey and make your journey better, though, man. So keep up the great work, man. I already know you're going far, man. Upthescore, man.